And now in this lecture we will talk about the story of the great poem The Night in the Panther Skin. In a nutshell, the story is about the adventures of two knights, Tariel and Tandil. Tariel is the hero of the poem. He has the nickname The Knight in the Panther Skin, and Tandil is the commander of the Arab armies. And in more detail, we can say that we can divide the story into two parts. The first part is the search for Tariel, the hero of the poem, and the second part is the search for the standard John, Tariel's beloved. In the first part, the search for Tariel, one day, Tandil, the commander of the Arab armies, challenges King Kostevan to a hunting competition. King Kostevan is the king of Arabia. After 3 days of shooting game, they take a break and rest under a tree, and suddenly they saw a mysterious knight dressed with a panther skin crying by the river. King Kostevan was very curious to know who is the mysterious knight, therefore he sent slaves in order to contact him, but the mysterious knight reacts violently and kills all the slaves that sent to contact him, and then disappears. King Kostevan sends parties all over the world in order to find the mysterious knight, but he becomes disheartened when he fails. Then Tinatin, the only daughter of King Kostevan, asks from Tandil to find the mysterious knight within 3 years, promising him in return to marry him. In return, she promised him to marry him. After 2 years and 9 months of searching, finally, Tandil succeeded to find the mysterious knight, and the mysterious knight told him that his name is Tariel, and that he was the commander of the fleet of India, and that he was also in love with King Parsedan's daughter, the king of India, but she was abducted by the Kaji, the demon king, and from that moment he became very depressed, and he always cried, and he actually secluded himself in a cave with only a maiden by his side. When Tandil hears the story of Tariel, he was very excited, and he promises Tariel friendship and brotherhood, and also promises him to help him to find his beloved Nestandarajan. That is actually the first part of the story, the search for Tariel. In the second part of the story, the search for Tariel's beloved Nestandarajan, Tandil, Tariel, and also Pridon, that is the ruler of the city of Bulgazanzar, with 300 soldiers, go to the country of the Kajis in order to rescue Nestan from her captivity. But the problem is that the Kajis country is a fortress, and it is impossible to infiltrate the fortress, and also the Kajis themselves are very strong very strong fighters, and they also imprisoned her in the top of a high-rise building, and 24 hours guards secured the prison in order to prevent her to escape, and in order to prevent others to rescue her. So it was actually impossible mission to rescue Nestan Darajan, Tariel's beloved, from her captivity by the Kajis. But Tariel, after dealing with Fridon and with 300 soldiers, did the unthinkable, and they succeeded to infiltrate the fortress and to rescue Nestan Darajan from her captivity. And the story has an happy ending in the sense that after Din marries his beloved Tinatin, and Tariel, the hero of the poem The Night in the Panther Skin, marries his beloved Nestan Darajan. The story even in more detail, as I already mentioned. So in the next step, I will tell you the story even in more detail. As I already mentioned before, the story can be divided into two parts. The first part is Avtadil's quest for Tariel, the titular The Night in the Panther Skin, and the second part is Avtadil's quest for Nestan Darajan, Tariel's love. In the first part, the search for Tariel, the king of Arabia, Ostevan, has no chance, and confers the kingship on his only daughter, the beautiful and wise Tinatin. She has a tender affection for Oftandil, the knight and commander-in-chief of Ostevan's armies. That is to say, she is in love. Tinatin she is in love with Oftandil. One day, Oftandil challenges King Ostevan to a hunting competition. After 3 days of shooting game, they encounter a knight carried by a river. He is dressed in a panther skin and kills all the slaves sent by the king to contact him, then disappears. Ostevan sends parties across the world to search for the mysterious knight, but becomes disheartened when he fails. Tinatin asks Oftandil to find the strange knight in 3 years, promising him her hand in marriage in return. After 2 years and 9 months of searching, Oftandil finds the knight in the panther skin, hiding in a cave with only a maiden for company. His name is Tariel. He is the son of King Saridan, who has the 7th kingdom of India. He had served as heir to King Parsedan, king of the other 6 kingdoms, for many years before falling in love with Parsedan's daughter, Nestan Darajan. Tariel wages war with the Katavians to earn the favor of Nestan, but is dismayed to learn that she has already been promised to the Khwarezmian prince Khorezm. Tariel couldn't bear the idea of her marriage, and at Nestan's request, he killed the suitor. The princess was placed on a boat and set adrift on the seas. Despite Tariel's lengthy search for his love, he couldn't find her. Later, he met Noradin Fridon, ruler of Lugazanzar, who told him that Nestan was alive but trapped on a distant boat. Tariel retired to a cave to live in the wilderness with Asmat, the former servant and messenger of Nestan. Moved by this story, Oftandil promises his friendship and motherhood to Tariel and agrees to help him find his love, Nestan Darajan. Oftandil returns home to Arabia and tells Tinatin the story of Tariel. Against King Ostevan's wishes, he returns to his new friend Tariel. That is the first part of the story, that is to say the search for Tariel. The second part of the story is the search for Tariel's beloved, Nestan Darajan. In the second part of the story, after Din then leaves Tariel to go to the kingdom of Pridon, where he doesn't hear anything new about Nestan. Continuing his quest, he arrives in the city of Gulansharo. He meets Patman, the wife of the chief Hussein, who falls in love with him. Avtandil sends in, she knows the fate of Nestan, succumbs to Patman's seduction. She tells him she has been keeping Nestan at her place, and as Nestan was promised to the king's son, she helped her escape, but in her flight, Nestan was abducted by Kaji, the demon king. Avtandil then returns home to Pridon and to the cave of Tariel, and later all the three friends, that is to say Avtandil, Tariel and Pridon, decide to go to the country of Kaji with an army of 300 men to find and deliver Nestan. When she is released, all return to Arabia, where King Ustevan forgives Avtandil his flight and breaking the king's order. They all celebrate the marriage of the latter, that is to say Avtandil, with the king's only daughter Tinatin. They then leave for India, where Tariel marries his love, Nestan. Pridon also returns to his homeland, that is to say Mugazanzar, and the three friends reign happily with prosperity and generosity in their own respective realms. Okay, thank you very much.